Watch your feet.
Oh no!
Holy crap!
We had Fram too, and the Fram had a whole bunch of surface rust, and
Good.
the SVP one was kind of jump.
So one of the biggest questions when you're doing any engine swap ever is, have you ruined the weight distribution of your JDM classic car? It could be an FD, it could be a 300ZX, as turd as those things are. S13, S14, anything in that nature. So especially with the online experts, LSs are heavy, they're big, they ruin everything, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I bet this thing doesn't destroy our weight distribution by 30 pounds.
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Even so, this thing is mounted farther back than this thing was. And with the G54 and the automatic, that automatic is an absolute turd. Our AR5 out of the Colorado, probably, I'm going to say, 30, 40 pounds lighter.
40 pounds
40
lighter.
pounds lighter, even with the clutch assembly bolted to it.
And we realized there is probably a difference between the automatic transmission weight
And the
whatever
and the
5-speed or whatever would have come in
Yeah,
here.
manual is
Standard.
definitely way lighter because
Right,
this thing
for sure.
is an afterthought. It is an overdrive transmission, so it is way heavy, way long.
But we are here to prove the haters wrong. And honestly, with where the crank pulley is, with where Blaine and Dad have designed this thing to sit, it is practically front mid-engine.
It is front mid-engine. The half the motor is behind the axle, behind the front axle. It is.
More than that, honestly.
Yeah, it actually is. It's more like only the front cylinder is ahead of the front axle.
Yeah, so not quite, but almost.
So what we're going to do is we're going to use our trusty Amazon scale that I bought. That's definitely not going to drop our brand new premium rebuilt 4.8 on the ground and flatten our oil pan. I'm going to use this to weigh it. So we're going to weigh the old crap first, and then we're going to bolt the LS together with the flywheel and everything and get a measurement off that and see if we're wrong. Because if we are, we have ruined this car and we're going to put it back to stock.
We know we won't win this argument, but we're going to do it for fun anyway. And just to further clarify, nothing has any fluid in it at all.
Yeah.
Everything's
LS,
dry.
this thing doesn't have oil in it, none of it. All right, we've got the trans and the torque converter in there, and no fluids, but it's all strapped together vaguely. All right, here we go. Let me know when that thing's off the ground. Get your feet out from under it if you are. All right, we're off the ground.
Let it sit.
514.3 pounds. Dang.
So
For 4-cylinder power, 515 pounds. That's atrocious. That's disgusting.
I mean, fork trucks rely on weight, right?
Yeah, they do.
To be
It's
able to
good
do what
for
they
it's
do?
good for the rear drive. It's good for the drive axle on a
Of your forklift.
forklift.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
So that's standard.
Standard, man.
That's
now I
what you
will
want.
say, it does have a tractor flap on. It
Right.
might add some weight.
That's definitely throwing it off.
Yeah, you know, 515 pounds.
All right. Well, that was fun. Let's
That was
move on.
Whoa. Danger zone. That's a pinch point if I've ever seen one. Oh, that's true. No, because it'll be caught on the frame rail before it hits you. That right there is why you do LS stuff. Because this kit for the flywheel and the clutch, $260. While your 2J swaps, you're going to be spending. You're not spending that. You're spending. Spend it
DSM
with
prices, though.
Give me
Not
an
really,
AC.
it's
Well,
cool.
I mean, for a stock flywheel, yes. Can we just put some windows in it?
I would, even though there's not a Belkin, I wouldn't put on the Belkin. Something that close to, put one in just to hold it.
Yeah. And I'll take it back out. Wow, I gotta turn this on.
No, just pull it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Uh-oh.
I was gonna say, it puts up pretty quick.
Uh-oh. Ah! Okay.
Lower that thing in.
Yeah.
Yep. One, two,
Dang, that's a cool looking clutch.
That is cool. That's massive. That's why we did what we did with the tunnel. Because if this were any other swap, we would not have had to do that to the tunnel. It's literally just because of this thing. So another thing that I would like to point out about all you JDM crazy guys about the G54. Here's a starter for a G54, 178 horsepower max, LS, million horsepower. 9.5 to 1 compression ratio, 7.6, 7.8. Yeah. Horsepower. Alright.
Still gotta take your slipping notification off of here. It's bad mojo.
Bad mojo? That is absolutely ridiculous. You sure this thing fits in the car?
Yeah, we had it bolted together.
Is this a disrespected episode?
Slightly disrespected. I don't consider my editing style I consider my editing style
have to have
always
the weight.
disrespected.
We have to have the weight
That's the weight that keeps it.
of the golf ball.
All right, where's the
The
ratchet
golf
strap?
ball back in.
Moment of truth. Somebody's life's about to change. All right, so there's a start. There wasn't a starter on the G54. There was an AC pump on the G54, and there's not one on here, but that still had its power steering. And does that one have an alternator on it? So alternator's still on it. So we've kind of swapped the starter for the air conditioning stuff, but we have the flywheel, the clutch, and the pressure plate all in there. Transmission. We even have the clutch lines on it, so it's gonna be heavier. It's gonna be heavier. Watch your feet.
Oh no!
Holy crap! Are you serious?
Oh,
I can't put this out now. 600 pounds?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get.
Well, I'm throwing that motor away.
You're just gonna have to buy that LS3 crate motor.
600 pounds.
Not 600. 680.
700 pounds. We got the weight. We got the balance really good.
Guess what?
They're right.
They're right,
The haters are right.
but we don't care.
We don't care. Because the potential for this motor versus a 4-cylinder, anything 4-cylinder really, it's just easier to make power.
I mean, that points out why you want to move
The motor farther back.
the motor back, battery to the trunk, kind of thing.
Yeah, 686
I mean,
pounds.
100 and what is that? 165 pounds?
Yeah.
That's not devastating weight. It's heavy.
Yeah, but we've pulled a lot out of this thing too. Pulled
Yeah.
the AC, all that stuff, the ABS,
There's a lot of stuff in the engine bay that's not going back in.
the drive shaft is longer because of how long the other one is, so it's probably, 2 pounds heavier. The big yoke and everything. I would not have thought that it was that heavy.
I wouldn't think it's that much difference.
Good night.
It's got to be in the engine though. That transmission is definitely lighter.
If this was an aluminum block, is it a 100-pound weight difference between an
No,
aluminum
it's
block?
not,
No.
because the aluminum block is 108 pounds. These, I think, are 145 or 150.
So an aluminum block, you're still looking at 650 pounds. So
Yeah.
not the worst thing in the world. Oh, we don't even have all the bell housing bolts in it. It's going to gain more weight. Man. And the carburetor's not on it. Man.
Oh,
Wow.
Take the wind out of your sails, or
It's funny watching Austin. He literally, when it went past 500 and then it went past 600, he
it
was
was racing past 500. It didn't even stop to say, "Hey, how you doing?" It was
Good
gone.
night. Goodness.
Do it again, just for dramatic
Yeah.
effect. What? You need to watch it. Here, you come here, hold the camera.
That's pretty. Whoa!
She's a thick girl.
Yeah, it's still saying about 686 pounds,
That's
687.
exactly what it said last time. Me.
The haters were right.
It's dead.
This thing's heavy.
it's a good thing it makes more than twice the horsepower.
That's true. Oh man, but you gotta
What's
remember
the
too.
moral of the story?
Moral of the story is I'm moving the battery to the back where the nitrous bottle is gonna be. So you
You
know,
were gonna say we should have bought a Tuesday. Nah.
2J's an iron 6-cylinder. With all that intake mess, I wonder how much does a 2J weigh? I bet you it's
It's a hefty girl.
pretty
too.
close.
Yeah.
Maybe not this much, but it's close. They're iron blocks. I don't know. Those are double overhead cam
2J
motors. Those are
2J
big.
with the heads that gotta be hefty and the.
2J with a big exhaust
What about all the turbo mess on?
turbo on the side. I don't know. This is probably about the heaviest as you could get until we do a big block Chevy or a Hemi thing. God, can you imagine what a friggin' Hemi would weigh? You put it on here. Good night. So it turns out the haters are 100% correct. This thing is a pig. We're gonna take our little JDM Princess, turn it into a Walmart loafer with this LS. It's so fat. It's way fatter than I thought it was. I mean, but it's an iron block. And
But
we're
are they right?
they're really not. They're really not right.
Let's
So
talk proportions
they're-
here for a
yeah.
second.
because if you took an LS and you literally put a big saw on, and just hacked it in half,
Cut it in half.
huh? Basically the same size 4-cylinder,
Proportionally,
Proportionally.
these 4 cylinders are lighter than those 4 cylinders.
way lighter than those 4 cylinders, way lighter.
And
So-
either way, you're gonna fix it with what?
Oh yeah. So I mean, you know, everyone's talking about, you know, people can say what they want about, you know, weight distribution and everything. And I'm gonna call you guys out and talk about weight distribution because guess what? Weight distribution doesn't matter when all you do is drive to the auto parts store and back home. So I'm sorry, but that is just the truth. I'm not worried about it because there's a nitrous bottle going in the back of this thing, and it's gonna fix all of our issues that we have with weight, as it were. Still gonna try to weigh the car up, you know, to kind of see if it is gonna be like 60, 40. I doubt it'll be that bad.
Try to get some 4-corner scales and see what it actually weighs.
Because one thing that the Elder Guru did, we were deciding where we're going to put the motor, is we pushed it as far back as we possibly could without having to completely cut the firewall out of it. So this motor, as far as the other LS projects that I've seen with Star Ends and Conquests, is a good 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches farther back. Because most guys try to bring it far forward enough to get the oil pan past the cross member and stuff, and so we recessed everything, and everything is as far back as we possibly could make it. So with that being said, we're gonna get back to work, putting this big old pig up in here, and deciding where we're gonna run our nitrous lines.
Remember to like, comment, subscribe, tell us how much we've ruined this car. Follow us on Papa's_Speedshop on Instagram, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.